This is Ron Brown again, and this is a continuation of the video series on what's unique about using HGSI Investor. Now, this is a continuation from the prior video, but I'm going to point out some different things. I am doing this on 12/6, December 6th, 2017, and it's about 11 o'clock in the morning Central Time. I am using Thinkorswim as my data provider, so these numbers are essentially in real time. They're updated every 5 minutes, but if I want to force an update, I just hit the F5 key, and this will all be current price and volume information at this point. So what it's doing is going through the entire database and refreshing it just by clicking on the F5 key. Just takes a few seconds and then it's done, and then everything is current. Now, let me bring that back up again. This information, you can see the combo rank, and a combo rank, for those of you who do not know, is the feature in HGSI which uses any field which is in the program. You can sort on that particular field, and you can see that the combo here is the industry percentage price change 1 day weighted at 100%. So looking at this, I can see where the strength was, but this is yesterday's information. I'm concerned with what's going on in the market today. But before I go and change this or update or rebuild the indexes, as I'm going to do, I want to point out some other things. Now, these are the current prices which I just updated, and if you look over here to the right, you'll see something that's something else that's unique to HGSI, or at least the way it's built into the program, and these are Vpa Flags, or Vpa signal conditions. And if you look here, you'll see that on Weight Watchers yesterday, because it's a 0, that was a flag that it is an effort to rise, and you can see that the group yesterday was up 1.67%. These three are in the group. So if I bring up the chart of Weight Watchers, and this will be the current chart, but here is the effort to rise, and you can see there's an effort to rise here, then a shakeout. It held at the 100-day moving average, and now it's starting to move up, and as of yesterday the group was moving up also. So that was a good VPA flag or signal. Here's another one, First Solar, effort to rise. Here it is right here when we're getting some follow through today. So in this particular view, if there was a VPA signal condition yesterday, it's going to be in this column, and it's going to say yes in this column. Now here's one that was an effort to fail, but the stock is up today. So that obviously, you can see why it generated that flag, because, let me move in on this a little bit, because as soon as this stock tried to move up, sellers stepped in and it closed near the low of the day. It gapped open to the downside this morning, but now it is forming another VPA flag, which is a low volume test or a test for supply. They are one and the same. So this is the beauty of this program, and something that it does that other programs can't do. It generates the VPA flags, and it also generates VPA flags intraday. Now, what I want to show you is that this is yesterday's information. What I've done is I have captured this in Snagit. I'll bring this over, and you can see that I have captured this. Recreational vehicles are on top, then renewable energy, refining and marketing, specialty chemicals, and so on. But that was yesterday. What we want to know is what's going on today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this, and I can leave the chart open, but I'm going into the designer. I'm going into the industries. I'll remove the filter by holding my shift key and clicking on my mouse, and this lets all the indexes in here. And then I'm going to use that tool that I used in a prior video. It's called Rebuild Indexes in Groups, and I updated 5 minutes ago now, but it just actually updated itself again. And what I did is I I rebuilt the indexes to give us current data. Now, let's go back into that warehouse view, make it full screen. I'm in all securities, and these are the groups. Well, there was just an update right there. These are the groups that are up today: non-residential, paper, educational services, agricultural product wholesalers, and so on. Defense primes are up. These are the percentages that they're up as of right now. So this gives us a totally different picture than what we saw yesterday with the recreational vehicles, personal care, renewable energy, and so on. So this is current. Now here is the personal care services again with Weight Watchers over here. So that is a leading group again today, up 2.43%. And this is the stock I pointed out with the effort to rise. Now as I look down here, you can see that the infrastructure software group is a large group with several stocks up. So even though there are only 961 securities that are up today, and these are securities that are assigned to groups. That's part of the filter. And if I bring this up, bring it over, on the downside, there's over 2,000 down. So it's a 2-to-1 negative day. The market is struggling today. It's been struggling for several days now, especially the big tech stocks. And it's really not showing much improvement. So we have a 2-to-1 day. If you're looking for long side trades in this instance, these are the groups you'd want to concentrate on. Now, with HGSI, you can go down to a group, and this group is up nearly 1%, and I'm just using it because it's a large group. I can change to the industry group, and since we are using all securities, or I was in all securities here, I can go down to this level, and the stocks that are up in this group are isolated, and there could be some potential trades here. Now I'm going to look over here to the right. You can see that there were some negative flags, and these are from yesterday. If I wanted the flags from today, I could do a complete or a full update on HGSI, but this time of day it doesn't make a lot of sense because the Vpa flags are based upon daily information, although you can see them developing during the day. So this Fortinet is up only 10 cents. Yesterday was an effort to fall. I'll just bring this up, and you can see the flag. Once again, that was generated because it tried to move up, and sellers immediately hit the stock. But look what's happening today. It is developing a test for supply. Like I said, these signals are really not that valid until the end of the day because the information is not all in. That is the closing price and the volume. But you can see the volume is light, selling pressure is off, and because I rebuilt the group, you can see that the group has turned back up, and that's why we're seeing so many of these infrastructure software stocks up today. Let's look at this one. This was an effort to fail. Oracle yesterday. You can see why it was generated, and here we are getting a test for supply or a low volume test. Same thing. Now let's do this one. Proof point. This was a very ugly candle. There were buyers trying to step in here, but notice where it is on its intraday range. It looks like it has further downside to me. Of course, it's too early to tell because the market's still open. Now here on the positive side from yesterday, the Vpa flags, this was no supply right here. Why? Because the volume was so low that it generated a signal that there just was not a lot of supply. Not a very healthy looking stock though. Let's go down to this one. Here's a test for supply. Here's your test. Tried to move up, not making a lot of progress. Like I said, the market is really struggling right now though. The Nasdaq's only up 7 points. Now here's another one that was generated yesterday, and the information is always right up here. Strength seen returning after a downtrend. That's if you click on the candle, and here it's trying to follow through. So once again, these are some unique features that you're only going to find in HGSI. Thank you for listening. There will be more videos coming.